$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Okay, correct it. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's deal with Mr. Farrakhan and get him out the way. Now, no need to argue, brothers and sisters. If you understand how biology works, the Messiah, yes, he's from the line of David, from the seed of Abraham. Now, if you understand anything about what Elijah Muhammad taught, right, that we have those seeds here. We got the seed of Abraham, and we got the seed of those of Yaakov's creation, which we call the Caucasians. They're not of the seed of Abraham. But the Messiah would be. That nappy here, he'd be soon the seed of Abraham. Right? So if you believe that, and you believe in DNA, you believe in science, then the male carries the seed. The woman has the egg. The seed is the life. Egg is material. You understand? So if you believe that, then the case is closed again. Mr. Farrakhan, because by his own words, he's not seed Abraham. His own words. So here's the link. Link, brothers and sisters. There's the link right there. It's also included in the description. You need to debate, argue about it. His own words. As far as a white, Caucasian, Portuguese Jew. No words. Move on, brothers and sisters. I'm not here to argue with anyone. There's his father. This came from Google. Personal Clark. See the resemblance? We got Mexican Jamaican. He got straight hair too. I have nappy hair. His real name is Louis Eugene Grounds, not Walcott. Walcott was not his father. Grounds is his mother's maiden name. Legion. Louis Eugene Grounds and right backwards. Here we go. See, he's trying to hold up America. He wants to save America. He wants to keep NOI here. He's working for the devils. But see, let my people go. I know. We ain't going nowhere. That's what he says. The covenant does not include us. Abraham covenant, we're not going anywhere. The covenant says God said we are. He said we're not. It's about to happen, brothers and sisters. Lightning. About to happen. Lightning bolt. But the words is yet to come, the purge. We're going to talk about this purge in the Godhood. That's what we're going to talk about today, brothers and sisters. Because I don't think most people don't really understand it. I think when you're in trouble, you say, you can't think of anything and roll the dice, man. Let's hope. That's what they got now. Yeah, and it says, Son of Man will have it in derision. That means they be confused because there's no way out. They run around, there's no way out. In a burning building, there's no exit. They're on the top floor. Okay. So, hey, let me see if I jump out the room, roll the dice. Anything. I won't get burned up in here. Come on, brothers and sisters. But see, Farrakhan, bad news all the way around. See here? Together we have a tape. We're not going to argue with you. He says that those beautiful black children up top are ugly. Nappy hair makes you ugly. Distorted lips and nose is because we're ugly, we're evil inside, and God has made us manifest the whole world how weak we are by bringing it out. So in other words, he cursed us with nappy hair, cursed with those distorted features. See, because he brought that's because it was wicked inside. It was wicked. That's what you're gonna hear him say it. It was wicked, even was rebellious and wicked on the inside. So Allah punish us by making it manifest on the outside. That's why it looked like this. And that the whole world hates us because of that. The whole world hates us because they see how we really look. Because we look at the outside, That's how we are on the inside. In other words, we're corrupt on the inside. But his favorite devils down there, oh, they're not devils. They're good on the inside. That's why white, straight hair like him, no lips, no nose. See? Because they're good on the inside. He hates us. He's a natural hater. Because he's one of them. He puts us down all the time. We have so-called mean man march, all that. Right? You're wicked. The promise that we supposed to go on, we ain't going nowhere. And they don't catch up on it. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. But listen to what he says here. Listen to what he says here. I'm going to go and play it, brothers. Listen to what he says.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you're so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, you know, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks. Because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black. But they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically, because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
A total goddamn lie. Total distortion of what Mr. taught. The righteous people saw Master Muhammad. They said we're cursed, we're ugly. Our black is our nap. See, he has straight hair like his daddy. Nap hair. He cursed our people. But he claimed his Messiah. He's living off our people. But he loved the devils. But we're despised by all the world. Really? We're inspired by Master Muhammad. We're inspired by Elijah Muhammad. Inspired by the whole world. And we're We all are over trying to get rid of our hair. And I don't see that. We see some people here doing it. We see, we got our brothers and sisters in Africa that have nappy hair. You don't see them burning it, curling it, and all that stuff, and turning themselves white like the Arabs are doing. We're just full of shit, all of it. But he's telling you, see what he's saying? Because that's his natural hate for us. And so he says it, he gets away with it because you're not with Farrakhan because of his intelligence. He puts on a show. Because you lack him. It's emotional content. It's not intellectual. Because if you did intellectually for truth, you would not be anywhere near him. Move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, the trial. This is my subject, brothers and sisters. The trial. See, the scriptures are primarily about the Levites. Primarily. The devils, of course, but primarily about the Levites. It says right in Malachi, Mr. Covenant comes to the Levites. They don't want to have to go to tribulation. And so that's the problem. I tell you, like, I don't like this job. I hate it. I ain't getting anything out of this. Nobody asked me to do it. God told me to do it. Nobody helped me do it. It had to be pushed. I saw a need. I addressed it. And I put all that, I made every sacrifice required to get done. Not possible, required. Let's go into this. See? Behold, I was sent a messenger. But look at it. But who would abide the day of his? Let's get back. Even I will send a messenger. He shall prepare the way before me. I will send a messenger. He prepared the way before me. So who's that talking there? That's not Master Muhammad, because he don't prepare the way for Master Muhammad. Muhammad prepared the way for him. That's something you think about. And Lord, he shall prepare the way before me. And Lord, whom you see, will suddenly come to this temple. Oh, wait a minute. Now, the Lord has come to Elijah's temple. So he's not the last one. And he's a messenger, even the messenger of the covenant. But they tell you, oh, the messenger's the last one. I mean, the Christians, the demons say, hey, they don't do that anyway. But the ones that claim it, they say, oh, man, well, it says right clearly. And they'll come against you, say, you got to believe this because Elijah's a messenger. He says he's a messenger, right? And his name is Elijah, but then this part they got a blank spell on, right? Who means the light in? See? So he's talking about the saints. They delight. That's what we look for. Remember, say that's when they're seeking. See, even Mr. Covenant, whom you delight in, right? Oh, that's right. Whom you seek. See, that's what they wanted. So in other words, they wasn't fulfilled with Elijah. They knew they wouldn't be filled until the messenger of the covenant came. That's what's saying here. But they're seeking them. No, this is to Elijah's time. They seeking someone else. So this is another group. This ain't Farrakhan's group, because they saying ain't nobody after that. There's a group that's seeking. It tells you in Exodus 2, those with the Lord. So there's a group there that's seeking. Right? They know a messenger's coming. But they're there. Because they say that's where he's coming to. Say they're in Elijah's place. They're not with Elijah, because Exodus tell you that. It says those with the Lord. They was with Aaron. They was physically, but mentally they weren't. Let's move on. Whom behold, he shall come, saith the Lord. Who shall stand when he appeared? That means who can handle it? Who's like refined fire and full of soap, right? So who shall abide the day of his coming? Who shall stand when he appeared? How can you? What's the word abide mean? Okay. Who can handle that? See? And it says, Why? Because he's like refined fire full of soap. He shall says, refine and purify silver, she purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver. Boy, I didn't mess with my transmission. So he's a tester. Purify them. How do you purify gold? You got to put in the furnace. You got to test it with fire. See? And that's what he would do. God tells you. He said he would purge you. Quote, it says that when he comes, right, he'll baptize you with fire and the Holy Spirit. And that's what it's all about. See, I don't particularly like to talk about it like this. Like I'm about to talk about it now. Because it kind of distracts you from the main focus, which you be focusing right now, is tribulation. Because this what I'm talking about right now is a bigger picture. The creation process. I talked about a little bit yesterday. I was showing how the DNA and how all the things came to, as the Quran says, one being all things came. And I've taught that a little bit here and there over the years, right? So I'm going to talk about today because there's certain points I want to make that will be highlighted by what I'm going to say here. I think the Levites probably need to know this when they go to tribulation. And so he's going to purify them. Now we know when cross all the dots. Then purification would be with fire. See? You should purify them, refiner as pure and purify of silver. You should set as refiner and purify of silver. See, silver represents Levites. He comes to purify Levites. Think about that, right? And she'll purify them, and she'll purify sons of Levi. It's right there. See, it says as refine and purify of silver. He said to purify the silver and purge them as gold and silver. You see, gold and silver. So in other words, the gold he raised it to gods, right? Some are going to remain silver. I'm going to explain that a little detail in a minute. See? Purge them as gold and silver. But he came to purify the silver. So if he purifies gold, that means he raises some up to gold standard. And some remain silver. But purified silver. Cleaned up. Right? See? That's where soap comes in there. See, he's like refiner's fire. There's fire and soap. I know you miss those things. They offer, right? Okay. Now keep that in mind. Just let's talk about this for a minute. See, we had the Shabbats and Levites. Now, I over the years, I kind of like come to settle with, because Levites. I mean, man, I say, why waste time with them? And you look at it and say, okay, I can see the benefit. Didn't have to have them, but they're ambidextrous. At least some of them are. And we got the intensity of analytic brain, and the spatial. And so if we can make them emphasize them even more if we have the Levites that are ambidextrous. Because like in case of male and female, you only have two. Male and female have anything in between. Well, right? But the creation is male, right? Okay. But the male is only like maybe 10% female, because we have breasts, we don't need them. Right? They're because to be able to communicate with each other. But in this case, it says we could make spatial, right? Almost 100%. That means the max you can get it. And technical, analytical, almost. If we have a third group, ambidextrous, that communicate between the two, they don't have to communicate directly with each other. So that's the reasoning. I'm not sure if I'm totally on board with that one, but that's the scientists made that distinction. They made that right. So, and I got to pay the price because I'm the one that have to take and ensure that middle piece comes together. I have to come to the Levites for that middle piece. That's why they're important. For the other two to be as powerful and distinct as possible. Okay. So that's why, because you the elect, nobody's come to elect. They're not the issue. You know who the devils are. But the Bible was most talking about the Levites. Because that's their purpose. See? That's their purpose. Okay. But coming out of the trip, we'll put it this way. We had some raised to gods. Angels are raised to gods. Some Shabbats raised to gods too. They chose to be part of the process, right? So since they agreed that that's the course they took. Let's make the analytical take it almost to the extreme, not 100%. Because they're still in so-called spatial, not 100% on the coast. But the more greater distinction, the more important the Levites become ambidextrous. Okay, so this process was just thought about 50,000 years ago. This is what Dr. Shabbos proposed. Although they say, man, I ain't doing that. No, I don't think we should do that, man. I'm not going to submit to that. I'm not put our women in that kind of condition, right? We're just hanging out, man. We got something, Buddhism was one attempt because they said, well, we're not going to have enough energy at the minute. We can't maintain ourselves. So what we do is we lower our mental standards. That's where religion came from. Because it takes a lot of energy to maintain that level of mental ability. So they dropped down to Buddhism, then into Hinduism, where the mental capacity was much, much less. They said, we'll do it that way. We'll slow our mental capacity. Right? So from the mathematical, right? And we call it religion. Because we didn't call it mathematics religion, we didn't call it religion. That's the name they used. It was just a way of life. So that was there. As we're told by mathematics, some of them say, hey, man, we just leave the planet. We just go to Mars. Some says, oh, well, we just come on this side of the planet. Stay away from them. We can avoid them for what? Because when Yaqub would come on the scene, they knew Yaqub was coming on the scene because they knew Dr. Shabbat was going to follow through this process. He was a top scientist at the time. They couldn't stop him. But they was against him. That's where we get a lot of things that you see, gin and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to all that kind of stuff process. But they were against that process. They were against him. And they try to do things to support it. Anyway, and that's one of the reasons why he's pushed out of what you call Arabia into what you call Africa. They try to slow him down. But they didn't agree with that process. They didn't want Yaqub to come along. They didn't want a deal to be made. And Dr. Shabbat says, no, if we do that, right? We can raise you up into godhood. Nappy hair, well, that was one of the traits of the gods. That's the dominant gene, the best. The angels were just as black and dark and everything as the gods. There's hair like the Somalis and Ethiopians. Wasn't straight hair like devils have. It was angels. So it said, if you go through this process, right? If you go through this process, you'll be lifted up to gods. There'll be enough pressure because you transform into gods and goddesses. Both. They agreed. Some of the Levites came along to say, okay, we want to go along with that process. And the female said, okay, we'll go along with it as long as you, at the end of this, you reestablish our honor, our dignity, because they were going to be treated in the most horrible ways. And we make sure Dr. Schwartz got the permission. He said, you got to do it. They said, you'll be lifted up. Live high. They live higher than us, brothers and sisters. You're going to see that when you see. See, because right now, your sister's second grade, third grade, and all that stuff. They've been the highest levels. You're going to look up to them. I mean, when they say gods are heaven, when they say the females are heaven, what does that mean? That's what you live for, your heaven. That's heaven, your God. If you believe in a God, you be asked what his purpose is to give you heaven. And if they are heaven, that means they're the gods. We're gods too, but we're going to look up to them. That's no story. So the thing is, that's the process. Get over the process. Boom. We submitted. He's going to say, we was rebellious. No, we submitted. It tells you in the Quran to the angels submitted. Adam is the creation. Yaakov's creation. We submitted. The jinn did not. They fought against it. See? Okay. So we're going through this Horrorcust. Now the purpose of Horrorcust is to put enough pressure on you to cause you transform. And that's what we talk about in the Revelations, right? We're talking about the 6th day, and the last part, 6 days, the last part of the years. Check it out, 6,000 years, 6,000, the last, and each 1,000 years is broken 2 parts, night and day. So the last part of the years, that's where we're in right now, that's when he'll make man, not mankind, like some image, convert, remove from, transform the angels into gods. Let's make man out like some image. The men, they were angels, so we're going to raise them up. Understand? That's the process we're going through right now. Okay? It's part of it. It wouldn't be complete until that process is not complete, until they have the reward. They would have to go through this, but the reward was they would have control of everything. They'd be gods. They have control of everything. Okay? So now going to the Horrorcust. The Horrorcust, right, this is the transformation. But see, when you go through, there's a purging factor there also. Just because you go through that means you're going to survive it. Just because you're going to train, just because you go to school, that means you're going to pass. You get tested. That's how people was tested. Our women was tested. We were all tested under supreme pressure. And some of us was transformed. And some of us was crippled. Some was crushed. And that's coming out of it. That ended in 2020. 2019. Officially 2020, that's the play started. We ain't talking about the demons here. We're talking about just the Levites. But some survived it intact, and some crippled. They made it through, and some didn't make it through. It was crushed in it. A lot of people make it. Some of them gave up. Some of them committed suicide and everything else. They missed out. Say I was heroic. No, I was not heroic. He said you're going to go to training, right? So okay, I'm going to go in this training, right? For this event, and then you quit. Well, you don't want to say you go to training. Nobody told you to force you to go. So I'm trying to build a case. You're trying to understand, brothers and sisters. Some go see, because when you go, if I cut the chase here, it says that the ones that was delivered after the first deliverance, some everlasting life, some everlasting shame and torment. Well, that's two groups. But both are made through tribulation. But one came out crippled, defective. Right? They was able, strong enough to get to the tribulation, but they didn't come out whole. They didn't come out 100%. Now, part of the reason is, right, because during the Holocaust, right, they weren't 100% dead. Some was, what do you call them? Backstabbers, right? Going around and informing, or massa. You know, I tell you what they do, man. Just can I get a biscuit? I keep see. I see. No one is thinking, because I always keep explaining these things. But see, I'm not going to be in the hard call. I'm not being through tribulation, and they're going to have to think, or it's going to be lost. Because they have to think these things together. Because they made it to. So why are they everlasting? You're ashamed of something that's corrupt, deformed, failed. You're not proud of your truth. They failed the test, are you? You're ashamed. You're ashamed. If they fail the test, you're ashamed. I mean, then you stay, you know. See what I'm saying? Every last shame and appallment. You're appalled that people act, they're deformed, whatever. And that's what happened. See? Say it was informers or whatever. Say it was able to get through it, so they survived it, right? But they wasn't transformed. It wasn't transformed. They survived it. And some might have been transformed, they got a lot of flaws and stuff in them. Because if we all were back there. Tell some man, we all back there. So what's happening right now, what you see right now, the way you present yourself now show up, because what you look in the mirror, it reflects how you get through the Holocaust. If you went to the Holocaust and you was stood up, you stood for your brothers and sisters, you try to stand with your sister the best you can, right? Sister was looking out. You know, see what I'm saying? You still had, you might not have love because it was beyond love, but you still had a connection with your own people. You didn't betray your people. And you suffered. You got whippers and things to keep. And so now, that's paying off. Because now you still have that connection with your people. But if you don't have that connection with people, you're out there using people, pimping. I ain't talking about demons now, because that's what you was doing back there. That's showing up now. So he made it came through gold. And some of you didn't make it, it came through silver. They get transformed. But still came through silver, but still made it. You understand? So right now, your actions reflect how you came through, how your actions were when you went to the Holocaust. That's a little complicated, so you probably understand that. So if you're hypocritical back there, you're hypocritical now. If you're a liar back there, you're a liar now. If you're getting over on your people, selling your people out for a biscuit, you still do it now. I ain't talking about the demons. It's showing now how your reaction to this message into where you are in time now. So it told one of the reasons why Son of Man first born amongst the dead, because he went through it. He stood up all the way through. And so he continued to do that, because that's how he came to it. That's the attitude he had. And so he still had attitude. Now, we tell you, you can't get away with anything. People think, oh, the resurrection is people come from the dead and they had to pay for all they did when it was alive. Think about that. They raised it from the dead and they got to pay for everything they did when it was alive. Ain't that the same kind of thing as now you got to pay for everything you did while you was dead and right, while you was in Horrorcust? So you don't understand things, and I always got to keep explaining these things because you don't want to think. So the reaction people have right now depends on sisters. Give me a second, brown sisters. Yes.
Hi.
Pardon me, brown sisters, for that. I gotta take these calls because somebody missed my bank account yesterday, so whatever. So as I was saying, if the whole idea is, okay, you rise, they raise you up from the dead. That's what Christians say, right? And now you got to pay. The Quran tells you, you got everything. So people don't understand that. They think, oh, and if you understand the process about that's why I tell you those things. They said how you bring life back after death. When you understand that, then you, right? Those who are dying the way of Allah don't think of them as being dead. They're alive. Give you all kinds of hints. So right now, the way your reaction is going to be based on the condition you are, because your reaction is always going to be based on your condition. Right? If you're sick, you're going to react to something different than the way if you're well. Right? No? See? If you're sick, you ain't able to run fast if a bear get at you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's it. So that right there, because if you was that type of person back there, it's going to show up now. If you're a hypocrite, liar, all things are showing up. How you went through, did you go through the Holocaust right? Submit and go through right, hang with your people, now it's going to show up. Those are the ones going to make the tribulation everlasting life. And those that come through crippled, you come through emotionally crippled, physically crippled, intellectually crippled. And that's why I don't want to deal with that while I'm doing this mission. I have to deal with that. That's something you have to deal with through tribulation. I set up for it. But I know my people know all that condition. And I recognize some of it. That's why I didn't talk about this too much, because I see it. And I can tell people's reaction, what kind of people they were going through Holocaust. Some of those people over there with Farrakhan, some are demons. And some of them original, but they was Uncle Tom, betrayers and everything. So they're doing it right now. They're still doing it now. Right? It's called master against us. Well, Farrakhan's master. I don't know if you understand. It's not that complicated, but it's a very important concept. But what bottom line is that the purified ones, everlasting life, pure ones, they're true believers. And one characteristic about them right? Is that you can't shake them. It says you could not shake the elect. You cannot shake them. And these are Shabbats. But it also applies to some Levites. Okay? Those are the ones have to make it to those ones can make the tribulation. Because if you're a believer, first of all, they have to be a believer in the message. That's what gives them to tribulation, because that's the Holy Spirit, that's the angel. And they have to wash their robes with blood, and they have to believe 100%, 99.9, whatever. But if you believe in it, if you really believe in it, it's one undeniable test. There will be tests, I'm talking about in a minute. 1 hour test. If you believe in it, no one can shake you. You will not get off that ark. If you believe flood's coming, it's nothing. They throw you off the ark, you still gonna grab on. If they throw you off, you still gonna grab on. You might have to swim, but you can be holding on to something. If you're a true believer, if you ain't, you're full of it, then it's gonna show up, because you ain't gonna hold on. Because if you truly be anywhere in the world, there's nowhere in the world you're gonna get. It's not unless you just want to commit suicide. You want to drown yourself. That's an undeniable sign right there. So we don't waste time with people that fall in that category. They don't get second chances. Okay? The Quran tells you that when you see the angels coming and the lot coming with the angels, the decision already been made. Because there's a believer that I'm gonna let go of the ark. I'm swimming for a while, and they say, "Oh man, I'm going to go back and go." No, it doesn't work that way. See? That's undeniable proof. I've had a lot of people come and go over the years. If I wanted people to like me, I wanted to go to see. Elijah Muhammad was told that he had an impossible mission. He was told to put up with it. He was told to put up with it. He said, Master Muhammad told him, he says, "You're going to suffer much. You have to put up with much." Not me. I ain't told anything like that. In fact, like I said, I don't want to even do this. Nobody told me to do it. I don't get 100%. And I went through everything to do this. Okay. So that's one thing. That's one clear. But then you got the other part about the purging. See? The cleaning up says clean up. Right? That means you got a problem. See, full of soap, but some of it is still dirty. Full soap is not good enough. So they come to everlasting shame and appallment. Come to stinking. If you're homeless, right, stinking, that you'll be appalled and ashamed of you. So you come in stinking mentally, emotionally, same difference. The emotional wreck. If you're emotional wreck, you might forget about coming to you. Because you could be in a cage somewhere. Now we deal with your emotions. That's why you got the 5 pillars to handle all those things. Okay. Your mental wreck, you can't speak. You're repulsed. Okay. Say Arabic is your language. You can't speak the language. Everybody can speak but you. Nobody going to try sign language everything to you. You're not able to speak the mathematical language. And so far, none of the Levites are able to speak the mathematical language. Not one of them. Because you ask the question, they can't get mathematical proof, they say something. And they're in an emotional state because they're trying to impress me. I told you, try to impress me, that's wrong. I'm doing everything I can to make you not like me. Because you're supposed to focus on the mission, not me. Because I'm not going to protect you at home. Oh, they're okay as my friends. Leave them alone. Don't be offended by them. They're homeless, but they're my buddies, so don't hold your nose. Now, I be doing all that. Like Muhammad said, each tub has its own bottom. So let's keep going with this, brothers and sisters. Now, see this right here? For I'm the Lord, change not. Therefore, sons of Jacob are not consumed. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Who is that? That's the elect. They're not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are going away from my ordinance, have not kept them. Return to me, I return to you, said the Lord of hosts. But you said, when shall we return? Now, who are they talking about here? From the days of your father. They're talking about Elijah. It says it right there in Exodus. They turn away from my commandments. What are they talking about? Y'all turn away from my message to Farrakhan. You ain't following them. So when you return, I'll return to you. That's why he fell on everything else. From there your fathers, you are going away from my ordinances, and shall have not kept them. Return to me, because they claim they were Elijah. Not we Elijah, not following Elijah's teachings. I shall return to you, said the Lord of hosts. But you said, when shall return? So you got to understand these things. They turn away. It says right next to us. You got to compare the dots. That's why when they say things like that, you got to say, how does that fit in the whole picture? Well, where they say like this whole picture? Right there, it tells you right there, they turn away. But from when? From days of your father? When? What father are they talking about? Come on, way back Abraham's time. That's not true. That wasn't Africa. The first brought people came over here anyway. They tell you that movie, I'm going to right there. I told you stuff. Even Roots tell you. The Muslims. So they can't tell me that time out. When Elijah departed, y'all turned away. And said, if you turn back to me, I'll turn back to you. Okay? And I think there's a connection here between what I said before. Let me make sure. Then shall the orphan of Judah be pleasant unto the Lord as days of old and in former years. See? He's trying to get you turned back. And they shall offer the Lord an offering in righteousness. Okay? So, mother, the message of the covenant wants you to turn back. Okay, let's move on. Will a man rob God? Now, when you Malachi, if you do a little mathematics, there's how many? There's a God, there's a messenger, there's a messenger of covenant, and there's a fourth person. They tell you what the God would do. They tell you what the messenger would do, prepare the way for messenger of covenant. Farrakhan not a messenger of covenant. He denies the covenant. We ain't going nowhere. And you know, Elijah's a messenger, but there's somebody, a fourth person, right, that's robbed the nation. That means they got to be in control of the nation to rob the nation. And they rob them of teeth. No, the money that people giving, they put in their pocket. That person's put in their pocket. That's Farrakhan. He had to do some goddamn thing in 40-some years. We put in the money, he begged for economic whatever that stuff. Where's that? You see economic development? But he's a multimillionaire. And plus he cursed. You ain't heard any other messenger of covenant. I'm 77 years old. I don't have cancer. You're trying to tell me I might have it. I don't know. I'm not cursing any curse. Oh yeah, I got nappy. Yeah, I forgot. Excuse me, Farrakhan. I mean, show me I'm cursing. Yeah, man. Well, wait, I'm getting over that one, right? Because 77, so not as nappy used to be. So I guess the curse is fading away. What? Oh man. That's what he's doing. That's the fourth person. You had a God, you had a messenger, you have Aaron, and you had a messenger of the covenant. And he would be between the messenger of the covenant and the messenger. There he is. He's robbing the, he says, rob God. He said, and tells you he's robbing the nation. The whole nation. That's about America. He said the nation. And it refers to Elijah's temple. Okay? And but bring ye the tooth and orphan in my house. Okay. So if you take and support messenger of covenant, right? He didn't ask for anything. It says, I will bring ye the tithes into the storehouse, that ye may be meat in the mine house, and prove me now wherewith I will open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings from the 5 pillars. I keep telling people, give the squirrels this American dream, and start working towards spring and things work for them, but they're scared, afraid. They're afraid of that first floor. Afraid to let it go. See, fear. I want to open you the windows of heaven and pour out your blessing, shall not be room enough to receive it. We're doing fine over here. I made great sacrifices. I'll talk about that in a minute, right? Okay. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake. That's my Farrakhan. He shall not destroy the fruit. And he, a person that's robbing you, I rebuke the devourer for your sake. He has devoured your wealth and everything. He shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. These shall your vine cast the fruit for a time in the field. To the Lord of hosts. He, the one robbing God. And all the nations shall call you blessed. For you shall be a delightful land. A lightsome land. That means not here, we're going to have our own land. We've got to learn to read these things, brothers and sisters. Move on. And this is underlying message behind Farrakhan. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. And your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet you say, what have we spoken of so much against these others? You don't even know you're doing it. See? Ye have said in vain, serve God. You know, you understand what that means? That means we went through the Horrorcust. We don't get nothing out of it. Farrakhan said, we ain't getting anything. We're going to stay here. You read the backstory here. See? And what proof is that we have kept the witnesses? And that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts. That gets another point I'm talking about. Because we're suffering all this much and we ain't got anything for it. See? And now you call the proud happy and work wicked, and they that work and they that work wickedness are set up. Oh, you're praising the devils. See, he's lifting them up. He was nothing happened to them. He loved Father's place. He's going to be heaven with him. And they attempt God even delivered. That's why I can't tell him again. He speaks for God and all these. Everything backwards. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I'll leave this again. They that fear the Lord spake often one to another. And Lord, these are the ones held on. Didn't get deceived by Farrakhan, the one seeking the message of covenant. And the Lord hearkened and heard it, and the book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord. What's the book of remembrance? It's our mind pack. That's the angel. See? Written before him, for them, was written before him, for them that fear the Lord and that thought upon his name. They should be mine, said the Lord of hosts. See? Those everlasting life. And they I'll make up my jewels, I will spare them, as a man spared his own son that serve him. These Levites, the true believers. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. Then you're going to decide. See, I told you there's going to be a judgment. We discern him, there's a judgment. Between the righteous and wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. Those are true believers, and those are not. And those are saints, and those are demons. That's the judgment. So I'm just going to Southbed. I haven't gone to like this before, but I'm doing it now. So, because I have some points I want to make here. O children, call my favor, I stole you that made several nations. Children of Israel. And be on your guard against day when no soul will build no lease. And it comes to separate from the Lord, it says, problem of help. He's talking about the children of Israel, that's our children, talking about the devils. See, be on the guard. They're judged for their ass. And the Lord tried Abraham a trial. See, we told her to try people, the Bible told her to try people. I try people all the time. He said, shake that tree. See the fruit, and loose fruit fall off. See? Sometimes I have to say certain things just see how it's going to impact people. Because if you're a true believer, nothing I say is going to bother you. If you're in emotional status, that emotion going. If you're in an emotional level, that emotion is going to blind you. It's going to cause you to lose your grip. If you make your slots, you're doing those things you're supposed to be doing, right? You have a firm grip if you're a true believer. Yeah, but actually the first pillar is true belief anyway, ain't it? So if you're a true believer, you got the 5 pillars. Then that shake will shake you. Because if you can handle this level of the battle, how the hell are you going to handle tribulation? So you got to shake that tree. You only want the best to get in there. Shake them out right here. Because there never be trouble there. When the Lord tried Abraham with certain commands, filled him. He said, surely I'll make thee a leader of men. Abraham said, in my offspring, my covenant not include the wrongdoers he. Just go see Abraham. That doesn't apply to you. If you're a wrongdoer, what's a wrongdoer? That means you acting wrongly. The 5 pillars are acting right. That's what righteous is. Righteous conduct means you're acting rightly. 5 pillars are your nature. If you're acting against your nature, you're acting wrongly. The 5 pillars are not just something we made up. That's your nature. In a mathematical form. Now watch this. Do you think you hit the garden? Why says a garden? You don't say a garden, because spring is a garden. There's little hints people don't pay attention to. It's beyond heaven, beyond sun, moon, and stars. Why need a garden? That's not the earth. I mean, if you're living on a star, there's no planet life. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So there's got to be a place where there's got to be soil and stuff to have a garden, right? Little hints like that people don't pay attention to. You think you enter garden while there's yet before and you lack what fell those who passed away before you. The stress, affliction fell them, they were shaken violently. The messenger of those who believed him said, "We hope Allah come, that sure help not." That means a great test. Even the messenger was tested. There's a test for me too, because it says he was in great distress. That's one I've been pondering. Why in the world they want to tell me when the exact time comes? Well, one reason could be for my protection. Another reason, because it's going to be longer than I expect, I might get a little bugged about it. I am a little bugged, because it should I'll be in distress waiting. I want to get this over with. It says it right there. I couldn't bring fire upon earth. I had to go baptism. You know what I'm saying? I want to get this over with. Right? And plus, try 77. You know how hard it is every day to go through this, brothers and sisters? If you just get up in the morning. It ain't easy to get up in the morning. If you're 25, 35, 40, man. You get 77, getting up in the morning is a job. Get your blood circulating. Before it's circulating, man, you can barely walk. Back hurting, killing you. Right? If I had exercise, I'd be in a wheelchair anyway by now. You gotta get exercise that gets everything going. Blood circulating, all of a sudden, this problem, that problem, all kinds. So, and I gotta address all that. Been 4 or 5 hours a day, just physical. Fasting, all that stuff, just so I can function. And I gotta keep my brain sharp. Good presentation, think it through, put it together. It takes hours just to put it together. Research, get these quotes, set it up. And nobody's paying me to do this. And nobody told my head to do it. Commitment. So we're going to talk about that in a minute too. Okay. You take your look ways never before and what fellows passed before you, stress, affliction. See, it said with difficult disease. And that's the part of creation. See, people got this idea that God just waved a wand or something. No, that's not the way creation works. Creation is a function of tension or pressure. Tension is the opposite of pressure. You pull things or pushing it. That's the creation. That's the tool of creation. Compression, causing things to transform, either positive or crush. Tension is transformed or is shattered. Transformed to one because hand attention or shattered. So tribulation, we was on extreme tension. And some of us shattered. Some of us got distorted. Some of us able to hold on. Similar situation in the beginning when they had that one being there. Only one was able to survive it. Remember I said all of us start, at the end only one made it. No one else could handle that pressure. Only one was able to survive it. And one being was able to survive that intense pressure. That's no story. That's 72 trillion years away, brothers and sisters. So the thing is that they don't want, oh man, they want the easy way. See, climbing upstairs is hard, but you move up. You have to climb down, go downstairs. No, you have to climb downstairs. In fact, you don't have to climb at all. You have to, there's no climbing going downstairs. In fact, you don't have to do it. You just slide. You just roll down. But you end up in the basement. Oh, well, I'm down here in the basement. It's cold, rats and everything. Well, could go up to the second floor, third floor. Keep going up. It's up to you. So we got people that cry babies. Oh, this happened to me. That happened to me. Because they failed the test. The stress and affliction befell them. That's the creation process. You think in the garden, they enter the garden, that's the price you have to pay into the garden, right? You have to survive this. The stress, affliction befell them. They're shaken violently. Oh, my mama did that, my dad. I had this problem, this didn't work for you. You crybabies. Well, you dead. You dead already. Because you to have reaction right now, and the tribulation's going to be much 1,000 times worse. You dead already. So you might as well just go down and take your whole bottle of Advil or something, just check out. Don't let me say it, because they say I'm going to commit suicide. Don't understand that. And they was applying the 5 principles, they eventually overcome that, but that's what that's for. Because a lot of stuff is emotional, and emotion comes from the heart, from the lives. That's the problem I have with a lot of almost all my family. Because I used to be very emotional, but see, it was emotional, not fear. I didn't have fear. I was very emotional. Well, I might deal with that a little bit right now. See, one of the reasons why they pick, I know why they pick certain people to certain jobs. See, like Elijah Muhammad, see, he was suffering all the things he was an alcoholic. I don't know if you know it now. He was an alcoholic. He was a Christian. He was all the stuff that he was trying to get people to come out of. So he had the experience. When he met Master Muhammad, right? Well, he was one of followers of Marcus Garvey. I think he said he was a lieutenant or something. I'm not sure. But he did say he was an alcoholic, homeless, he was all kinds of stuff. Right? So I'm not sure, was that between Marcus Garvey or whatever. But he said he was in that situation. His father was a preacher, he was a Christian, so forth, so on. Right? So therefore, he was chosen because he knows that life is about. So he now talk to people about that life. Right? And so, because I said, why would they want somebody like me to do this job? Especially at 77. Because the hardest part of my job, I mean, this is the worst part here, not the hardest part. Because I hate to be dealing with these people on this level. But the hardest part is the wars to come. So he had to lead us into battle and take everything back. And that's to come at 77, man, Kiva. When I look at it, I say, everything that could happen to a person happened to me growing up. So I know all of that. So I can talk to people about it. See? Just everything you can think of, I went through. And I don't talk about it. Because it's the past. It got me here. Like, about that fear factor, I don't have any fear. I don't have fear of anything. That's what people understand about me. Even when I was in Guam in Demon Island, They did everything they could. And the lawyer had then told me, said, look, I know you ain't scared people. Would you please leave out? He begged me to leave out because I know you ain't scared people. If you spit on the sidewalk, they're going to put your ass in jail again. Because everybody remarked. I remember one time, like my father was gone, right? And there's this guy called Bay Boy. We live in three level. He was on the first floor. We was on the second floor. He took a like to me. He was he worked for the mob, brother. But he did numbers, right? And so he took a liking to me, and he just wanted me to hang around him. I did. His name was Bay Boy. I don't know. He's probably going now. I liked it because he was a little nice to me, right? And so he knew Dion Walk. They my relatives, right? The drinkers. Not close, but they're relatives. But the point is, he knew them, and he opened up a pool hall. So he wanted me to run the pool hall for him. Now at this time, I'm about 16 years old, I guess, about 15 or 16. But he liked me, and so he let me. That's whatever he did. And, everybody. I had a reputation. I mean, I wasn't a bad dude, right? And I didn't know how to. I never did. Everybody was going to gyms on how to box. I didn't know they was doing that. And I would get in fights all the time. I'd get my ass kicked. But I fight to the bitter end. And I let them know once they won, but they didn't win. Right? Because if we got in a fight, they're going to, he whooped his ass. I said, okay. Next morning, they come out of the house. I've been standing right under the stairs. And boom, we go at it again. They whoop my ass. Boom. Okay, you got me again. I get you come out of the store. I'm jumping you again. And well, hey, bro. And that's my reputation. Everybody said, man, that boy got a lot of heart, man. So I had a reputation. Everybody respected me. They know they weren't going to punk me. And I wasn't scared of them. And just because I had the skills of boxing, my heart was in the right place. But that was because of my father. See, now I'm not going to talk about all the bad things happen. But the point is, see, people, they got mother, they got father, they got stuff. They go, I don't have any of that. I watched my mother pass, and she was barely in her 20s from cancer. My father took her to the hospital for years, and I was 9 years old when she passed. The whole year, man, I'm still wasted away because they told her to take that damn polio shot. She's working for some white doctor, housemaid or whatever. And he convinced her to take that polio shot, and they killed her because they get cancer. None other people did it, no brothers and sisters. That's the only person in my family ever got caught after cancer. Are you crying about that? I don't like it. I'm angry. I never got a chance to know my mother. 9 years old, she's gone. Whole year, about 2 years, I think about 3 years she suffered with it, and she finally, and it's the last year spent in the hospital. Then my father, we stuck with my father. And man, that dude came, because he was like, I didn't realize she was like an umbrella. He was like the hailstorm. When she left, boy, boom, old school. Well, he laid on my ass 5 years, boy. He knocked me out one day. He actually hung me once. Right? Yeah. I know he loved me, but I mean, that was him. I'm not going into all the details. He didn't kill me, but he came close to it a couple of times. Right? I hate it. I didn't hate him. I love my father. I wish he was alive now. At that time, I never hated him back then. I didn't show what he was doing. I was scared of hell. I was scared of hell of that man. I feared him, boy. He came home more. I feared him. I know one time he told me I couldn't ride this bicycle anymore. He told me I put it down in the basement. I could not ride it. So I had a lock to put on it, right? And so I went to the lock. The lock was already locked. I had already given the key. I already gave him the key to the lock, right? And I realized I hadn't unlocked the lock before I did it. So I couldn't lock the bicycle. I was scared to go ahead with the key. So I was afraid of. So I just put the lock on top, the chain on top of the bicycle. I wasn't going to touch that bicycle, believe me. So he went out the next day and saw, you try to be slick, huh? you try to be slick. You didn't lock that bicycle up. But nothing I could say, boy, you wore me out on that one. Right? But the point is that when he left, I had no fear. He took all that fear out of me. I went to Vietnam, I had no fear, not one day, ever. When I told that pool hall I was running, They got in a fight one day there, man, and this dude named Fox, he started some crap and everything else. And he tried to roll up on me. Like I said, I was on about 15, 16. He was probably about 20. And I told him, man, you can't do that here. He pulled a gun and put it in my head. He actually pulled the trigger. And my heart didn't even blink. I just had no fear. Then it didn't go off. Obviously, if it did, I guess I'm in heaven or hell somewhere. Maybe I think the way things are going, I guess this must be hell. So I could, like I said, if I tell you about all the things I went through, I guarantee you that I can match everything you did and plus. But you don't see me crying about it. I can say, oh man, I can't do this, man. Because I don't use my past as a crutch. I use it as a learning experience. And I say, if I got to home base, I ain't gonna be crying about how I got there. I got there. So how I got there was because of the path I took. Your destination, when you reach a destination, it depends on the path you took. So if you like your destination, then you can't be cursing your past. Oh, my mama did this, my dad did this, crying like a little baby. And if that's the attitude, stay away from here, but you ain't gonna survive here at all. You definitely ain't gonna survive tribulation. So that's why I said that's probably why I end up getting this mission. Because I said example, because if I can get over it, and I suffer more than anybody, because it said he would suffer the sins of the world. So you're talking about some Gino as Joshua said, he would suffer the sins of the world, all of it. All of it. So you go cry about your little, oh, my toenail hurt. Oh, my mommy didn't give me oatmeal. My daddy, he didn't take me out to the ball game. See how stupid that sounds? So you cry, baby. Take someplace else. I guarantee we go at crying test. Right? I have you drowning in my tears. Guarantee it. My brothers and sisters, sad. This here. By those scattering broadcast, those bearing the load, those running easy and distributing fair, what you are promised is surely true, and judgment will surely come to pass. Judgment always happen all the time. If it's specific judgment, but judgment's when you look in the mirror, that's what you see in there is a judgment of what you've been doing all your life. There's a crown here. But heaven full of past, surely you are varying opinions. He's turned away from it. Who will be turned away? See, some will turn away. You'll be turned away, turn away. Cursed be the liars. Claim they believe it on. Because you got to tell people, oh man, you got to be on the end, you got to do it, and then you ain't. You got to say, but you ain't. You got to be secure, but you ain't. You got to be firm, but you ain't. And then put your test, you crumble. Because it said, we tell the scripture, shake that tree, test them. Say things, do things. See if they're going to hold on to that. Because if they let go, they was never believed to begin with. And see, you don't want them going to tribulation with you, but that's a war. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You don't want, that's why I said Messiah, he said test people before they win the battle. Because if they wasn't 100%, then what do you want going to battle? The cowards and weak and crybabies. All you do is get everybody killed. Cursed be the liars who are in absent. Now what? I have to get 7 I can't say things right. Abyss. Oh boy. I tell you, that's one main complaint I got. That's a major complaint. Why couldn't they pick somebody 40 years old to go into tribulation? I could be, and the worst is yet to come. So I said, if this energy burst comes down and make me any younger, damn. I'm in shape, but damn. Because what we got, the battles we got coming is worse than battles ever. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm saying I go independent. I'm in good with this man. Wow. As a complaint I do have. Why didn't this happen when I was 40 years old, 50 years old? Right? That's when the day of judgment is the day when you are tried to fire. See? Tried to fire. So if you can't handle the water, how the hell are you going to handle the fire? And right now, you're still dealing with the water. You're still underwater. You're still dealing with Farrakhan's mess. Whether you with Farrakhan or not, our people still dealing with Farrakhan's mess. They're still underwater with his vibrations in the air. Okay? And then they see that great light. Imagine how I'm going to shut all this down. Right now, you're still on that foot. Even the people out there, our people, a lot of people, Levites, they're still on the, whether they're the nation or not, they're still on the Farrakhan's influence. So-called Million Man March, most of the people wasn't with Farrakhan. They're listening to him. So, when that's with their judgment, the day when they try to fire, taste your persecution. This is what you would hasten on. Sure, the dutiful are missed gardens and fountains. If you're dutiful, it means things are starting to work out for you. Taking that which their lords give them. Sure, they before that doers of good. They used to sleep Baloo at night. Why did they sleep Baloo at night? Because they was making some lot. Sleep Baloo at night because they was making some lot. They was fly pillars. See? They taking that which Lord give. See, they're not in the emotional state because the emotional state is 90% of your problem. See, why would they say sleep Baloo at night? Why would they be sleeping Baloo at night? Right? Sure, they were doers of good. See? Sure, they're dutiful. What's dutiful? Dutiful, five pillars. I missed gardens and found because they did a lot of salats. That was one of their major problems. But they also had the angel. Two major things. And taking that what Lord gives them. That's the fasting thing. No, that's Sakat. Right? Spend on what we were giving you. See, it's all in there. Sure, they were before the doers were good. See? Here it is. But they ain't paying attention. Everybody said they won't get it until they fire hits them. In the mornings they asked divine protection. In their wealth there was in their wealth there was a due share for beggars and one denied good. That means looking out for their people. Not crying, oh, mommy did this to me, and daddy did that to me, and I had all these problems. I sacrificed so much. Just worrying about their people. They realize there's one body. See what I'm saying? They're looking out for their people. There's folks on that. So they got the blessings. And earth are signs for those who are sure. Yourself, do I see in heavens in your sustenance and that which you are promised. And so in the heavens is your sustenance, that which you promised. That's our land. In heaven, that's what our promise is. So Lord in heaven, so by the Lord in heaven and earth, is sure the truth, just you speak. See, that's the Lord. Baruch said we don't get it, we ain't going anywhere. And we shall certainly try you with something of fear, hunger, and loss of problem lives. If we're going to be tested. You want to be gods, you got to be tested, you got to be formed. Pressure. See if you can make it. That's it. When you put someone under pressure, either it's transformed or it's crushed. But either way, it's transformation, positive transformation, or negative transformation. So that's what we try with something of fear, hunger, and loss, and property. Fear, that's testing all the 5 pillars, or you applying them. Because if you're not slack, fear's going to get you. Hunger, fasting, loss of property, zakat. Boy, it's all there. They test the 5 pillars. If you're applying them, and give good news to the patient who, when enforcement falls them, They said, sure, we are lies, him we shall return. They'll be crying, oh man, this happened to me, man, in the past, and I suffered so much, they did this to me. No. They didn't look, hey, they talking, hey man, I went to the gym, man. Oh, man, I got these muscles, but damn, man, it was hard, man. Oh man, it was so difficult, man. I got pain, I got sore, man, and I go. But that's what it took to get the muscles, dummy. But oh man, all this stuff, you see what I'm saying? That's Holocaust. So if we don't start coming to Holocaust, we might as well just die right now. We look at the Holocaust as like a misfortune, or we look at it, see, Holocaust tells us misfortune was punished. But we look at it as an exercise, a transformation tool to be God's. You say, okay, bam, got over that now. I'm glad I went to that gym, man. Look at me. Oh, man. Look at me, man. Look at me, man. Look at that body I got, man. I'm glad I went to the gym. See there? Well, oh, man. I spent all that time at the gym and everything else, man. You know. But look at you, man. Look at the muscle. Oh, you see? You got all the money. Everybody look at me, but you complain about, yeah, look what I had to do, man. I had to spend 4 years at the gym, man, 4 hours a day and all this. See what I'm saying? That's what it took to get those muscles. But you complain about what you had to do to get it instead of enjoying the fact that you got it. And now people in that mode, because again, that's the mindset we have. You see? Because they make you think if it ain't easy, there's something wrong with it. No, that's just what if it ain't easy. They say that. They don't. Then they tell you something else. Well, you got to work hard to get this. But you know. So everything's, like I said, confusing messages. And give news to patience who when misfortune falls and sure we are lies, him shall return. These are they who are blessed in mercy and Lord, and those who follow the right course. The ones positive, look at those misfortunes as a experience, as a learning. I always tell my children, learn when you have bad experiences, right? Don't use it as a crutch. Learn from the experience as a learning experience. So now you're better, and now you know, now you understand that. It's like homeless person. I talk to a homeless person because they tell me how not to be homeless. How they got there. Well, that's how you got there. I'm going to do that. I always do tell them. They don't listen to me anymore, right? I says, learn from other people. Learn from their experience. Why are you going? You see them people. You see a person doing something dumb. It's happened to him. Why are you going to do the same damn thing? We don't do those things. So if you're looking in the past, you're not growing. Look, like I said, my experience, my father, boy, it was hell. But I'm glad he did because at 14, I'm an orphan. Nobody cared about my sister and myself. I had a little sister a year younger than me. She's in a nursing home now. I feel very bad about that, but she won't listen to me because she know I try to tell her do something, and she won't listen to me now. She's in a nursing home. Right? She knows she's around me. She don't get by that wheelchairs. The gym started getting back on her feet again. So she stay away from me. Right? But we stayed with her aunt, and the only reason she took us because she wanted to get that money from the state. She wanted to battle with everybody else to get me because she didn't want us. She wanted to battle with everybody because she never cared about us before that. But she wanted that. So she got that money. She never did anything for us, nothing. Never did anything for us, anything. All we did, we had a place, a bed to sleep in. That was about it. And I knew at 18 years old, that was over. That's why I went to the Army at 17. Because I knew at 18, right, she wouldn't get that money anymore, that was it. I knew what I was going to do. I'm saying, I ain't nobody told me. I ain't nobody to guide me, tell me what to do, what not to do. My father wasn't around. And people that told me gave me bad advice. People that did give me advice always gave me bad advice. So I said, well, let me get her. I got in the Army. I tried to get my sister, but I got 17, but she stayed around. They abused and used, and that's a long story. Right? And that's what happened. She turned 18, they threw her out. Now she's out on the street. And these clowns took advantage of, pumped up a bunch of babies and all that. Told her she'd get money if she get bunch of basic welfare. I mean, that's mad. And I said, if I ever get held that in, he's gone now. Mobs, people, gang people, killed there, threw them in the garbage can. At any rate, see what I'm saying? So I went to the military. Nobody cared about us. Now, nobody gave a damn about us. No relative anything. If I'm gonna look back and cry about that, I never did, even before I met the master. Before I learned it, look back and say, okay, moving on. With the military. Tell me something out of my life. Because after all, I am my father, ain't I? Right? So, let's move on. If you want to talk about sad stories, come and drown in my tears, because you will. I got an ocean of tears. Your little pond. One of our sisters. You ever talk about the mind wars? That's one of the things. So these emotions is part of the reason why you make a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of people that sit around here and they won't think. You're going to force to think or you're not going to make it. I'm not being able to do your thinking for you. They claim they're not thinking. And they're trying to please me. If you try, you're wrong. I got my way to make people not like me. I got my way. People don't like me anyway. I got my way to make sure when you're coming into a message, you don't like me. Because if you here because you like me, you're in the wrong place. I won't be here to save you behind. You have to make decisions based on mathematics. We think when you have trouble, you're going to pray and somebody God will come and help you or some angels. No. You want to be God's, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. You don't want to do that. Say make all kinds of mistakes or try to figure out what I like. Give a damn what I like. I'll figure out what I like. I'll do what you supposed to feel what you like. Imply mathematics, save your ass. But they ain't getting that. That's why they don't get in the minute, because the fire's going to burn them. And then the fire moves everybody. So let me just cut to the chase here, brothers and sisters. I'm going to close out in a minute. I'm going to say as clear as I can, possible. Clear as I can. Clear as I can, brothers and sisters. Horrorcust was enough to form these diamonds. Then you got the finishing process. You know, when you got diamonds, you got to cut it, clean it up. Because when you pull diamonds out the mine, according to the way I understand it, it looks like a piece of coal. Because diamond and coal are the exact same material. Just the coal plus amount of pressure. If you organize the diamond, it's exact. You pour coal, you throw a diamond in the fire furnace, it will burn exactly like coal does. And I understand people have probably done that. Because when they pull the diamond out, they put a diamond mine, they may think it's a piece of coal. Because it looks like it had to clean it up. One way you find out, you put on, I think, what I've been told, I'm saying, what they do is they put on a lot of pressure. And the coal itself will crush. But diamonds won't, because they take a lot of tension pressure. I don't think they say you can't crush the diamond. That's how they find out. That's what I'm told. So I don't know how to do it. I haven't studied diamond mines. They say they take all the coal they pull out, they put on intense pressure, right? And then the diamonds, right, will stay, won't crush, they'll stay hot. And the rest of the coal will actually just crush the dust. That's true. That blessing be Horrorcust. Some was got transformed, some got crushed. Some was got broken. Sometimes put in context. Now, I'm not going to do it as much as I was going to do since I've been there a couple of hours. So I'm putting in context of the creation process. I talked about that a little bit yesterday. How we brought everything, the plants, everything born out of us. So now they serve a purpose, because the original being had to serve all that. What the original being eating animals and plant life. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, anything, it and dissolve the sunlight. Okay? So gradually we put things, tension, things out, and more and more complex, right? Get to plants, fish, reptiles, so forth, until, because remember, the expansion universe is the creation side of the universe. The enjoyment part is that after you work, the vacation, whatever you call it, after you finish working. That's why I said the seventh day you rested from all his works. See? So in other words, after the sixth day, what's the seventh day? Seventh day is after we finish. You pay attention to these things, brothers and sisters. The sixth day, the last 500 years, the sixth day is when make man in the likeness of image. That's what happened right now. Once that happens, that's the seventh day, so that's when he rests from all his works. So I'm saying, now we got charged, now it's heaven. It just gets better and better and better and better and better. So the process is complete. Once complete, then we take over. But I said, once we bring something into existence, well, we give it freedom, let it do its thing until it finds where it's a creation, then we take it under control. And we get rid of the afterbirth, so to speak. So this is the last part of creation was to elevate us to gods. They have a new form of angel, which are the Caucasians. Those that survive the process, because they're called beasts. I explain why they're beasts, because they're not. You have to have that. The human gene is the top gene. They don't have that. They're between the beasts. That's why I said mankind. They're between. That's why I call them beasts, and they're between beasts and man. And the beasts and the gods. They're not the gods. They're not the beasts. They're in between. So, because it said, I raised a beast that will speak to you. That's what the Quran said. I raised will speak from the earth that will speak to you. So they're actually beasts. So they can communicate with the beasts. Because now we don't have to take and control the beasts and control the animals, control the herds, keep the animal population under control. Because we had them do it, because they love animals so much anyway. That's their nature. So they'll do it. But they've been submitted to us. That's the ones that are able to survive this pressure. Most of them can't. They be in submission to us, and that's their job, is to control our biological creation. We don't have to do it anymore. That's their job. Okay, that's the creation factor. So they was the last one to come out. So they get free reign, now we got to bring them under control. Since they're going to capture all the nations, most of them be eradicated. That's that side. What's the other side? But this time, the greatest tension ever. So to bring them under control, it's going to take a war. Because the whole plan's out of control, because everybody was against what Dr. Shabbat says. All the nations. All of them against us. I said, dragon, if you understand that, stood by to devour the child who was born. Because that means we're going to take control again. That's what said. Remember Joseph's 12 brothers said, hey, well, there's what he talked about. They betrayed him and took everything he had and threw him into slavery. But it's the greatest war ever. And so it says, you're going to, when that fire hits you, right, you're going to come to see the great army. That doesn't mean you have Hajj. These all people come together, but you're going to have you'll be in the most tense war condition ever, ever. Because you're going to be here, that's how you're going to prove you're the gods. Because you took Horrorcust, that proves that doesn't prove it, right? Horrorcust just doesn't prove, only thing it shows, doesn't prove anything, because you have to have somebody to look for the proof, right? It just shows that you was transformed. But what's the proof of it? The proof of it, when you come and see the great army, and you kicking everybody's ass. They can't touch you. Now you're the gods. That's where the proof comes in. But now they're dealing with you. But it's going to be the most tense war conditions ever. like nothing before. So it means you proved you survived the Holocaust, which that means you're the hardest people on the planet. And now you're going to fight the greatest war ever, more than any war, and more than anything anybody ever imagined. That's going to prove to you the gods. And you transform it, now you got to prove. Like I said, you take the diamonds, and you cut the coal, you say, oh, some is diamonds, okay. But now you got to clean it up and cut it. That's what the tribulation is all about. So if you can't survive this level, you ain't going to survive that. And Levites just ain't getting it. You can ready to hit the most tense. It says unprecedented. That means the world will be unprecedented. They'll come at you with everything they can, and they're going to come at you. The most powerful thoughts they can come at you is a thought war. They'll come at you the most powerful thoughts they have. They use everything they got, and you bring power, everything against you. The whole world, but simply here. And then once you leave here, then you got to go and deal with the brother Arabs over there. They're going to be out of their mind. Most intense times ever. And y'all ain't ready. I keep telling people, y'all ain't ready. Y'all dead. See, because you can't perceive that. Oh, well, you look at things how you are right now. Because you can't conceive of what's about to happen. You just can't imagine it. Because if you did, you'd have a total different attitude. And you're not thinking, none of you are thinking. The test of thinking is the engine. So I don't know if this makes any sense to you or not, brothers and sisters. So if you're weak, or you're weakly, you're crybaby, all that kind of stuff, here, you forget about it here in tribulation. Forget about it. You can't handle LA Fitness. Don't even think about going to Gold's Gym. Don't even think about it. So we don't play games here, and I don't waste time with crybabies and weaklings and deformities. Like I said, a lot come out crippled. They deform emotionally. They can't get over the emotions. See, because most of us growing up, at least in my case, right? Because like I said, my granduncle, he had some experience with slavery. Because I used to everybody used to go down to North Carolina around the holidays, and he was in North Carolina, and I go to his house, and they ask, how come you the only one to ask questions? Not that. My mother was alive, right? So I'm about 7 years old, and they said, you the only one to ask questions. And I asked him, and he told me, he says, oh no, that house I'm living right here, that was Matt's house. He said, that was Matt's house. I said, where y'all live at? And he showed me a little room, smaller than a closet, like a stall, bed stall. It was not any bigger than that. They had to call it a tool shed where they put rakes and stuff in. He said, lock, dirt floor and everything. He said, lock us all in there at night. No bathroom, nothing. Just do whatever you have to do, or deal with each other. This was locked in so we wouldn't escape. They told me. So a lot of stuff. But we're going intense right now. And you devil will tell you, I'll play this thing in a minute. They'll tell you, hell's on the way. But it's even worse than they imagine. Right? And so I'm just letting everybody know, if you hear this, don't come over here bothering me. I don't got time for it. Right? My job is to get information. And once Master Muhammad takes control over there, get ready to take control of the Middle East, shut all this down, he's going to bear witness to who the Son of Man is over here. Lightning strike from east into the west. And then that's when Nation of Islam, those members that's with Farrakhan, how many is going to be? 110, without. They're going to rally around and get that message. Hopefully, maybe find somebody that can lead them. But we told there's a Sheba on the way, and I'm not going too deep in that. But well, I'm going to leave that one alone. Somebody lead them. I ain't found nobody to lead them yet. Everybody, nobody's thinking, it's emotional, and they're trying to see what I like, what's going to please me or not. And if you think that way, you're wrong. Trying to please me. You can't please me. You got to do things mathematically. Please yourself. Save yourself. I won't be here. That's one of the reasons I won't be here. You got to figure it out yourselves. If you got somebody complaining and stuff, get rid of them right away. Don't waste time with them. You know, and when nations around, messers around, they threw your ass out. They call it slack talk. Slack talk threw your ass out immediately. Boom. Slack talk, oh man, I this too much is whatever. Oh yeah, oh man, your answer, I ain't talk slack. Ask anybody was around. Slack talk got your ass started immediately. Got time for that. Take over Farrakhan's place. They're over there. Want to talk about the past? Go back in the past. It's about the future. The future. The future belongs to you. You earned it. You worked for it. You're going to shit on it now? Oh, man. This cake tastes good, man. But damn, I worked so hard to break this cake, man. Damn, I worked all night, nerd. Enjoy the cake, fool. You want paradise, you want everlasting life, and you don't want to do anything. You think it's going to cost you anything? How much does it cost to get that? Anyway, but let me move on. Oh, let me speak to this again. I know people don't understand. I see mind is not a physical thing. It's just data, information. The information from your sound, your sight, your touch, all that's information. Okay? Information that you can accept or reject. You don't have to touch water. You don't have to listen to music. You don't have to read a book. All that's information. If it's cold, you can go to a place where it's warm. So you can decide what information you want to take in or not. Once you take it in, it becomes knowledge. If you just accept it, becomes knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge. And then you have a conflictory thing, because knowledge comes in. If conflicting knowledge come in, then you're going to decide. Determine what you're going to accept based on your nature, unless there's a fear factor. So two conflicting ideas come in. The one that you like, unless there's a fear factor, like somebody give you 2 ice cream cones, and you like vanilla or you like chocolate. Well, you're going to do chocolate because that's the one you like. Same thing with knowledge. The one because that's your nature. So that's true, it's your nature. So what you like is your nature. So you say, okay. So you said and you reject the other. That's happening now because all you was getting was just vanilla ice cream. So all was ice cream. You know it was chocolate ice cream. If somebody opened up a store of chocolate ice cream, now you start gravitating over there. Same thing. All you was getting was this devil information. So you had the devil's mind. But now angels come in and give you parts of different information that is close to your nature. So it takes time because you got to compare. Every time you get some knowledge, they block a lot of it, right? But when you get some of it, you compare. Let's see if it back, you say, oh yeah, well, yeah, I like this, and so the process starts. But see, the thing is, it's going to take a while for that process to become complete. That's why those days have to be shortened, because I'm just going to shut down the source of this data that you get from the devils, because it's fueled by oil. When they cut the media down, they cut the American dream down, all the place go to darkness, then you won't be influenced by that data anymore. So the only data you're going to get is the light from the angel. So how do they compare it? And it's going to fit your nature. That's why it's come together to see the great army. But we say, again, see our army, that means you're going to war. You're going to be the greatest war, and see the great army, because you're going to see the great war. Unprecedented war. So then you got the knowledge. So you got it. We just got it. But see, a lot of people are getting the knowledge and they don't process it. That's the thinking part. Knowledge is not the thinking part. It's just when you accept it now, you hear somebody, you don't have to accept it, let me think about it. You hear a song. But then you start processing. That's wisdom. Then you start processing it. See? That's where wisdom comes in. But now you start doing something with it, processing it. Well, now that's a process. Don't mean you're going to process it here, but are you going to make it take some action? But you're still processing it. That's wisdom. And nobody's doing that. Because that's where angel comes to go. You start processing, then you start figuring out angel. But now you remember angel, you see, read it, just taking the knowledge. You're on the knowledge level. You're on the level with Elijah. They didn't process it. They processed it, they were never in Farrakhan. They just got knowledge. So it's just sitting there. Oh yeah, I know about Mr. Black Man. You hear them saying, I know Mr. Black Man. How can they say it? I know about the lessons. And you say, well, yeah, how can you still be Farrakhan then? When he totally contradicting all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They take knowledge and they're not processing it. And our people ain't processing. The people claim with the degenerate are not processing it either. That's the finishing process. You're gonna have to process it. Their own knowledge of self. You have to process it to get out of here, to overcome this. And you have to understand it to be God's. Because God's comprehensive. Understanding is now wisdom and how you do incorporate into the. That's why I'm telling you how the universe works. All these things, all these gravity, all these forces. Right now, you got the wisdom. Now you incorporate it into that. Now you're God. Because now that wisdom is applied to the entire universe, it works in the entire universe. You understand? So everybody's got the data, but some people don't have the data. They don't even have the knowledge. But it says, my people lost for what? Lack of knowledge. Never even got it. Farrakhan and blocking it. And they're distorting it. Right? And if you caught having, and it tells you right in the lessons, if you got that knowledge, you don't go out and they call it, I forget how I said, civilized, don't go out and teach us uncivilized. You're supposed to be punished. So you got that knowledge. You better off didn't get the knowledge at all. You got the knowledge, you got it in. You don't want to process it. You don't want to go and tell your people. It says in the lesson, you be punished. Who's going to punish you? People going to punish. Because they can say, how come I didn't get this knowledge? You mean you had it? And you didn't say anything? I tell you, the wrath of our people says, wrath is mine, says the Lord. Who is the Lord? Right? It says, wrath is mine. But it tells you take vengeance. It says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord, brother. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I will repay. Then who is doing the vengeance? It says, you do and it done to you. That means you're the Lord. We're the Lord. We're going to do the justice. We're going to do the judgment. So I said, don't you be judging angels? So here it is. Our people are going to judge. When this happens, they're going to be looking around and say, hey, man, I lost my son, lost my daughter. What? They want to know who had the knowledge. I'll be giving it to them. So ain't no problem here because I'm giving it to them. They're going to want to look around everybody else. Oh, you knew about this? You said nothing? Or you was distorting it? You was at Farrakhan? Oh, boy. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. That happens. That's what the mind is. Mind is just data. The brain processes that data and wisdom. The brain accepts it, that's knowledge. It processes, that's wisdom. Right? Then it incorporates that as an entire creation. That's understanding. Like Solomon said, get knowledge, get wisdom, all that getting, get understanding. Okay. I'm going to close out in a minute, brothers and sisters. I can make I think I speak stuff for man. That covered everything else. The baseline I was trying to get to you is that what you're about to face, understand how this fits into your preparations, what you should be doing, your attitude, who's real, who's not real, so forth, so on. Because you're going to have to know that. Going tribulation, you have to have a full picture. I'm trying to give it to you. But this, I gave you as much as I can. There's a lot more to it. You're not thinking. If you make slots, you wouldn't have those emotional problems. Because you increase your slots until that's what I had to do. So that experience I had with my demon wife, positive experience. She gave me hell, yeah, but she taught me what I didn't know about slots. I knew about slots what I do, but I didn't know how to gauge it. Right? So she taught me. Like I said, I was very emotional before I got slots. I had no fear. I would jump out cars of people, I'd get in a fight and drop a dime, right? I ain't taking both crap off anybody. I still do it now. I had no fear. The thing is that part of spiritual, I kept creasing because that woman grieved me. I mean, boy, I never had so much grief in my life, bro. Nothing got to do make happy. She always caused a problem, always. I come home from work, she took off the kids, took the furniture, got police there. It was madness. And I just kept increasing my slot, increasing, so I got to the point where she wasn't affecting emotion anymore. And realized, that's what you got to do. You got to gauge it. Find how much you need for the situation. Like you go to the gym, you can't grab one weight, so it's going to do it. No, you got to find how much, increase it until you get right results that you want. So I knew I had to start at 5 minutes, 10 minutes, until I got to a point where I said, I need to make this much per day. I got that, then she couldn't affect me anymore. She couldn't give me emotional upset anymore. She couldn't bug me anymore. And that drove her to have a mental breakdown. She got all emotional, blew up, trying to get me emotional because she got all these emotional things. So she had to increase her. See, as I increased my slot, she had to increase her emotional actions. Because that's what affect me, the emotional all the time. So she got more emotional and more emotional. So what am I going to do to get this man upset? So she had to go more and more, and she messed around, had a nervous breakdown, trying to get me upset. And she's going good, but that's a positive experience because now I can teach you how to make slots. So that's what and a lot of your issues is, especially trying to like me or doing the things you think I want to hear and that kind of stuff, you're wrong. I won't be here for you. And a lot of that is based on emotions. The seed of that is most of it is emotional. Emotion under control. Once emotions under control, most of that goes away. But the whole 5 pillars. Okay? And don't have if anybody crying, don't waste time. If anybody come and they not 100% on board, don't waste time with them. I had people come that were believers, but they was problematic. So I said, you can't stay here with that. I throw them out. But I knew they was believers. So I kept lifeline to them. I knew they were believers. Right? They didn't walk out, I threw them out. I said, they can't bring that crap here. But they kept hanging on. See? Because you can't, a believer, you can't. A true believer, they ain't letting go. They wouldn't let go. So eventually, right, they finally get the act together. They got back on board. The other people come with a lot of emotional crap. You got to get the hell out of here. Say something, they get mad and leave, fine. I mean, they wouldn't believe to begin with. See? I don't like what you said. Fine, bye. It ain't about whether you like what I said or not. It's about whether it's correct or not. Right? And you get past your emotions. See, let your emotions, let your nature, see, your emotions corrupt your nature. So get your emotions out of control, out of the way, so you can allow it to come in and examine it. But the devil's got you on an emotional trip. Christianity, all that kind of stuff, got you on a super emotional trip. And that's blocking a lot of this information. Okay. That's why 5 pills straighten you out. I'm going, brothers and sisters. See here? I was saying about Christianity, walking around the cross. If you dare, ask anybody with a cross, they talk this brotherhood, love, and everything else. Ask them when in time, tell me what time in history, with all that stuff you're talking about, loving people, right? Helping people, charity, all that stuff. Tell me what part of time in history, the last part is, where on earth was that practice? Where on earth was that practice the last part of years? Where? What time and where? They can't, because it never was practiced. It was practiced right there. No tree by the fruit it bears. Rape, murder, stealing people's land, killing, wars, disease. That's what you got. All this they're talking, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, Jesus is about love, about forgiveness, helping people. No, when did that happen? Show me where on earth did that happen. When y'all came out of Europe, Gog and Magog, y'all brought hell. Y'all, it wasn't wars all over the place. China wasn't invading India. India wasn't invading Africa. Africa wasn't invading Australia. Nobody invaded anybody. It was in their home, doing their business, taking care of business, and mostly at peace with themselves. When you came out, you brought hell, war, damnation, hell, murder, and every damn thing else. Racism, the whole 9 yards. That's what Christianity brought. And anybody accept it got ripped off. You go to Zambia, whatever, hey, make everybody Christians, right? As you know, they sit down there in poverty and famine. You up for the gold, they got the cross. Not even a gold, but a wooden cross. Maybe not wooden either. Maybe just a stone cross. Yeah, that's what Christianity represents. Tell them lying. So America is a Christian nation, because that's what Christianity is. Christianity is the religion of Satan. It's deceptive. It says Satan would masquerade as angel of light, and they tell you it's light. It's nothing but darkness in Christianity. 1%. If you believe in it, and all you got to do is look at history. Where's the history of Christianity? Rape, murder, death, take people's land, impoverishment, prison, genocide, feeding children, crocodiles, bait, gator bait. That's what Christianity represents. Tell them lying. See Jesus. I'm gonna close here, brothers. This is what Christianity is all about. Capitalism. It's slavery by definition. Maximum profit, minimum overhead. Get the most work out of you, don't pay your goddamn thing. That's the idol. The perfection of capitalism. It does. It works to death. When you saw those pictures, you said by a slave 70 years old. Look that up. They said guy's probably about 30 years old. They work so hard. You look at it, they work at 24/7. By the time you about 30 years old, you're like it's 90. And most of you be dead by then. That's what it was all about. Okay? They fed us food, they fed us shit. Chitlins, that's what shit. They took the S off, put a C there, and they called chitlins. Come on. We should love them. They have a natural hate for us, and we have a natural love for people. So when they do it, well, I get my mind wars. If somebody does things to you, they give you justification to hate them. They gave a justification to hate them. Remember, that justification is data. History. History is data. So then, in effect, if you don't have history, then you don't know they did to you, so you love them. Because you're a loving person. You love by nature. But if you hate for a person, you don't need any data. You just hate. So the only thing you need data for is justification you hate. So they got to find reasons to hate us. So let's look, the Bible says they're ham. Or they do to be slaves, they had to find reasons. They naturally hate, but us, we naturally love, and they gave us reasons to hate. But now they're trying to hide the reason. Oh, don't teach slavery in school. That's bad. They make them mad. Yeah, you goddamn right. They make them mad. Don't hide the fact. Oh, it was the South that was doing it. Oh, we freed the slaves because we felt good for them and we were tired of the South. That's all bullshit. They're trying to distort it to keep you from the justification, justified hatred of them. That's what Farrakhan doing. That's why he's kissing loving on him, because he's one of them. You understand the mind and the brain? They don't want you to know that difference. That's why they confuse the two together. Master Muhammad going to shut it down, so that's the good stuff. Good news. And said, after 1,000 years, Satan should be loosed out of the pit, and Gog and Magog, this American Britain, only two world empires there was, to tell you be two, led by Satan, false Israel. Right? What's his name over there? Right. So go out and see the whole world. One of the deception is chapter 20. Chapter 20 is their history, not the future. That's what he's trying to get. Satan's trying to get Joshua to bow to him. He said, "The heck with you, I don't need you." But have renounced the Hitzi. Oh, nonsense. Okay, I'm closing this, brothers and sisters. So when I see all nations will be blessed. Okay? If you understand that, brothers and sisters, you understand that. It's telling you all the nations living off of us. It's back right here. I mean, it's wrong. All the nations living again. America's living off of us. Colonization, enslavement, America and Europe. False Israel. You bless Israel, be blessed. Curse Israel, be blessed. Curse Israel, be cursed. So they're saying, hey, you want to be blessed, you got to be, because we're true Savior, what's a lie. So they take and bless that, should came to us. Because they claim an identity. Ishmael, they claim our land. That's our land. It says right there, Abraham covenant between the river Euphrates and the river Egypt. That's Arabia. Farrakhan is robbing the nation. He got control of the nation. Everybody's got living off us. And then they live off our creativity and industrialization and AI. This is the war. So the thing is that the Horrorcust, and see, if the people, the Levites had listened to Elijah, they wouldn't have to go to the Horrorcust would have been it for everybody. So it was tested and they failed. They followed Farrakhan, which proves that they're not thinking, because anybody that think at all realized they couldn't possibly be Farrakhan if he claimed he followed Elijah, and all you got to look at what Elijah said. The Farrakhan told you that's a lie. It's an obvious lie. So when people hear him, they have to, because they got the lesson, they go, all that stuff is there. But still, they still fall, but that means not thinking. They got knowledge, no thinking. So the thing is that the Horrorcust prepared you to be gods, right? And then Elijah and soon prepared you for the military part of it. See, we're never going to the preparations of mind war, we're going right now. But now we're going to go to the physical war. The Master Muhammad shuts this down, then you come together to see the great army. Right now it's a mind war to get you to that point. Now you're going to be a war, and it's going to be unprecedented. It's going to be unprecedented for a great tribulation. And all the wars until we take all this back, unprecedented. Wars like you've never seen before. So if you're a crybaby, then you get the hell away from here. Because you can't handle it now on the mental level, or you're going to be a distraction to get somebody killed. If people got slack talk, And you know, and when light is around, if you talk slack talk, you heard somebody talk slack talk to report it, that's your ass out too. Why you tolerate something like that? When somebody talking like that, they crying or get rid of them immediately. Turn them in. So that's ratting. Well, you call whatever you want to call it. Elijah Muhammad said, turn them in because you want them out of there. Because that cancer staying there. I ain't going to rat on that cancer. Why? So you're going to spread to the rest of the body? No. They're cancer. No. That's your, I'll catch it. They're definitely gone. They don't second chance on that. I said, if you're out there and you're a believer and you out there got some issues, as long as you're holding on to the arc, there's a chance for you. If you let go, keep going. There's more brothers and sisters. Again, spring coming, winter's over. It's a battle between the winter and the spring. We're going to win that battle. Final battle. It's fast approaching. What's listed here, brothers, is about to come up. Here you go.
Oh, Nima, and I keep telling people this, you know, watch out. When we collapse, we're going to collapse with a loud, loud bang, and people's lives are going to be ruined. It's not going to just be $8 a gallon at the pump. It's going to be you can't afford anything. You can't even afford to eat. You can't afford to have a roof over your head. You certainly can't afford all those things you've been thinking about, like a college education for your children and so forth. That's where we're headed. And we're doing it to ourselves. There's
That brother says they're crying. That was Colin Powell's assistant. Remember him? Okay, brothers, I'm going to close out. Hope you understand. We ain't got time. I'm not here for them. I'm not one of your followers. I'm here to answer anything. Just get your information. So don't bring your BS over here. I ain't interested. If you're looking at the past, stay in the past. Cry babies, don't come anywhere near here because it's ain't for you. War's on. It's about to hit a hell of a stage in a minute. Break loose. When it does, you'll know how it affects you. Look in the mirror.